Hey everybody. All right, so a sort of last minute live stream here. We'll be doing these every Sunday now, and we'll see how it goes. So I've got a little bit of music playing here in the background. Let me know if it's too loud or not loud enough. We'll get things rolling here. So yeah, every week after the forecast, usually I record the forecast here on Sundays for each week, and now we'll be able to have it more interactive. So you guys can tell me a little bit more about how you're feeling the energies, any questions you have for the upcoming week. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do, sign-specific readings, so nothing about specific signs, but general energies I'm happy to look at. Of course, any questions you have about astrology in general, and a great way to, I think, stay connected and have everyone in one spot. So going over the chat here, just want to say hey to everybody. So Ari Gold, thanks for tuning in, great to see you. Gift wrapped, thank you. Maggie, of course, welcome. Nikea Lily, great to have you here. Pioneer Priestess Dre, great to have you. So I'll just sort of go through some of the chat here, answer some of your questions, then we'll take a look at the weekly energy here together. So first of all, let me know if any of you are feeling the lunar eclipse yet. It's still a bit early. The lunar eclipse will be on late Tuesday, early Wednesday for most of us. It is going to be in Pisces, which is always interesting to work with, to say the least. Pisces is that more spiritual energy, having to surrender a bit. Now, it is a north node eclipse, which does make it more proactive, and usually, full moons and lunar eclipses are more proactive anyways, being the heightened energy of the lunar month. But the North Node is specifically about taking that action and being proactive with things. So anything we can do to incorporate intentionally more receptivity, doing things that are more important to us, spiritually in life, what's prioritizing more of a soul fulfillment versus a physical fulfillment. And all in all, I think just prioritizing more of the mental health and spiritual health side of things. I think that's what it's really about. So North Node is about activating that, setting some new intentions with that. If any of you can think of some maybe creative ways of working with the energy, maybe how it might be already influencing your life at the moment, that would be great for the community, I think, to share, and maybe we can get some more insights out of this week's lunar eclipse. All right, so yeah, going over some of your questions here. So Pioneer Priestess Dre, for us on the homestead, we are really noticing the need to integrate our new resource perception as we forge our new nature-centric spiritual path. That's actually, I think, a great way of incorporating the lunar eclipse, because we have that Uranus in Taurus, and so Uranus has just gone in there, which is really about starting to innovate more of the resourceful side of ourselves, both mustering up inner resources, self-worth, self-value, but literally the outside too. I'm actually finding myself getting into the garden now for the first time, and I don't know what it's been, like a decade, starting to set roots a little bit, get more into nature. So that's awesome, Pioneer, that you're experiencing that too. That's I think really the Uranus side of it, innovating with the natural resources and inner resources of life. And then of course the spiritual path, is the lunar eclipse. So going through a few more here. Thank you, Ari Gold. We appreciate you, Athen. Thank you. Hi from Munich, Rosella. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Sunday, Kathleen. So Karmiker Fuffle, I hope I got that right, is asking what the significance of the lunar eclipse is in general. Yeah, so I think that's what it really is. Now, this is, I think, a sort of a prelude to the solar eclipse, which we're going to have. So in 2 weeks, we're going to have that solar eclipse. That's going to be in Virgo, and that's where I think the month is really going to start a lot of the eclipse, stronger eclipse energy. So this one I'm seeing is more like a prelude, something that is more of setting the stage. And I think here that it's a reminder to see how we can have more of that more spiritual health and mental health before we start to integrate more of the physicality side of things with the Virgo, with the solar eclipse in Virgo, which is coming up. We can also kind of read this a little bit generally and say that if you're a mutable sign, like a Pisces, a Virgo, a Gemini, or a Sagittarius, this lunar eclipse is going to probably have the strongest effect on you. It's either going to be conjunct your sign, opposite, or square it, which are all very transformative. So, but if you don't have maybe the sun and moon there, even any other planets you have in those mutable signs, again, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Gemini, these will be very important planets to start to integrate, challenge ourselves to integrate. So you can always check that out. We have that online calculator on the website at Mastering the Zodiac if you don't know exactly all of your signs. But if you have any planets in those signs, those would be, I think, great ones to work with. Anthony, good evening from Wiltshire, UK. Thanks for joining, Anthony. Happy Sunday, Gina Swina. Cool name. I love the new newsletter. Right, so I wanted to see what you guys were thinking about the new newsletter format, see if you like it. It's more of a PDF you can download, easier to digest, easier to read, I think, and going more specifically into the energies of the week. So for those of you in the MTZ Insiders community, let me know how you like it. So gift wrapped, keeping to self. Usually it is felt physically in some way when the moon eclipses. Yeah, and I think we'll notice that more so as we get into, closer to it on Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably feeling more of the physical aspects of it. I mean, I'm already feeling a lot of the kind of short-circuitedness is how I describe it. I think when there's really strong solar energy, something involving the sun, in this case, it's that solar energy starting to bounce off the moon, very, very strongly. I tend to feel this kind of short circuit energy and wired kind of a feeling, and I'm already starting to feel that. We'll see if that's really from the eclipse. Some have also said, like my wife has said, that we're actually having quite a bit of solar activity at the moment, so it could be that. And of course, these things are all correlated. So yeah, Rahu in Pisces, Chirag is more near the spirituality, or Ketu in Pisces more near spirituality. So Ketu in Pisces would be more near the spirituality, since Ketu, which is the south node, is a more spiritual part of the path. It is the spiritual part of the path. So it's interesting. North node is more the physical. So we have the physical implementation, the north node, in the spiritual constellation of Pisces. So how can we really integrate, I think, that healthy Pisces, that healthy receptivity in very, concrete, grounded, and very practical ways? And that's why I think it's really good for, aligning things that are more self-fulfilling, whether it's our, work becoming more self-fulfilling, our location becoming more self-fulfilling, our relationships, whatever. In fact, you could see exactly where Pisces is in your chart. Again, on the website, there's a calculator for that, and that'll tell you exactly which area of life, this is about integrating. But definitely integrating that spiritual energy in a much more grounded way, and really setting the intention to incorporate it in our everyday lives. That's really the Rahu, or the North Node side of it. All right, gift wrapped is also gardening. That's great. I mean, I guess it is for those of us in both hemispheres. I would say, gardening time as we're starting to get into the spring and autumn times, which are usually really good. So Margaret, I've been laying under the trees outside with my puppy a lot and trying to connect with nature and the Pisces, more spiritual side. Yeah, that's awesome. Small animals is the Virgo too. So that's really incorporating all three things there. We've got the usually things that we have to take care of. That's the Virgo. So usually our pets. We've got the relaxing, which is the Pisces side of it. Great time for that. If for those of you who can find a little bit of space right now to relax, it's fantastic. And outside with that nature. Again, Uranus and Taurus. How can we innovate our lives to have more of that natural connection to things? All right, so we have Jackie. Good day from Niagara Falls. Awesome. Let's see. Going through some of the questions here. Let me know if you guys like this format with the music. We're just kind of chilling. This will actually be a quick live stream. In fact, kind of crazy how fast time just went. That was like the fastest 20 minutes of my life. So we are actually going to conclude here in about 10 or 12 minutes. This is how we're going to keep it really short and sweet. Each week going through, I did the YouTube video for the weekly energies. And so this is now the opportunity to ask questions about it, to dive deeper into the weekly energies. And so we'll go ahead and, try to answer as many more of these questions as we can here. But yeah, let me know how you like the format. Let me know if the music is good, maybe not too loud. And in this kind of style where we're just chatting back and forth through the chat. All right, Katie, super helpful visually. Love it. Awesome. Thank you. Lighthouse Streamer, Sun, Sag, Virgo, Rising, Gemini, Moon. Yeah, so that's a lot of mutable energy there. So I would imagine, Lighthouse Streamer, that you're probably going to experience the lunar eclipse very, very importantly, very strongly in a good way. Now, the thing about this lunar eclipse is actually quite supportive for an eclipse. Usually eclipses are more challenging, but here it's forming a kite, and the kite is, for those that know, it's the grand trine with the sextiles, and the trines and sextiles are much easier to work with. But it's it's challenging too because it's in Pisces. It's also conjunct Neptune. So again, the challenging side is like incorporating. It's not easy for any of us to incorporate more peace and receptivity in our lives. That's just a difficult energy to work with. That's why Pisces is, so difficult in general. But we have the support from the outer planets. So we have Uranus in trine, which was what we were talking about, the grounding energies, with the natural energies, innovating with that. But we also have the trine with Pluto too. And so Pluto is really that deep and transformative energy. So all in all, I think the support is really in the sense that we have a lot of support to induce change, to really get outside of our comfort zone. We're likely more collectively willing to experiment and try things differently and listen more to our excitement, let's say. And then the Pluto in Capricorn, of course, is really willing right now to make those structural changes, really get into the bedrock of what we've built in our lives. And I would say all the way up until this point and in our whole life, being willing to restructure things as needed in order to build a life that's more true to us. Pluto really helps strip away a lot of the things we do for fear, insecurities, doubts, attachments, which of course, these physical things are very important, and we need that ego and physical self. But if we do build a life that is more structured around security and safety and comfort at the expense of our true self, then what really is the point, And so Pluto now in this trine is really giving us the support to make those changes if we want, But it's nice to see those harmonies from those outer planets. All right, great to have you. Have bliss. Thanks for joining. Excited to see you too. Thank you. Aloha. Dance each movement. So have bliss. My ascendant is in late degree Virgo and Pisces 7th, right? So that would be your late degree Virgo. So a lot of this is happening in your 12th house, actually, and 6th houses. So we'll be very much relating to mental and spiritual health for you. Have bliss. All right. I have the Capricorn. Yep. Awesome. My nodes are the opposite. Very interesting. Yeah, the nodes are always opposite. And one thing that's very interesting too is if you do want to see where your north and south nodes are in the chart, this will help you see how to actualize the lunar eclipse energy. So for example, with my chart, I have north node in the 1st house and south node in the 7th, which means that if I want to incorporate more of this peace and spiritual well-being, I have to develop the 1st house energy, right? Because all of my life path energy has to go through the 1st house. The 1st house is about more activity, more independence, more initiative with things in general in my life, and building a better relationship with myself. So this is the way in which, and this is how I'll know that that's the path forward, and it's the path that will lead to greater spiritual well-being, because it will be in alignment with my personal north node in the chart. So if you do know where your north node is by house, that can be extremely helpful for working with this lunar eclipse, because again, it'll show you through which area it's so important to develop. Love the format, the music, awesome to hear. Thank you, Val. Chill vibe, yeah, I think so. I like this chill music, especially for heavy, intense thinking and figuring things out, which is, astrology. Will this be recorded? Yeah, I think YouTube records it automatically, so you can just watch it later. I think it'll be under the live section of the YouTube channel. Tuning in from Texas, great to have you. Yeah, so Jackie, eclipses are no joke, she says. Last one was April 8th, right? So they're happening every 6 months, right? So the springtime is where they're happening now, spring and autumn. Jackie says, found out I have a 66-year-old sister in France. Wow, through DNA. That's incredible. Wow, we both have Cancer rising. Very interesting. Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see if you connect with her, how much you guys have in common. But that is definitely eclipse kind of stuff there. And I would be, and so Jackie, also, you having a Cancer rising, the fact that you're connecting with family and stuff is very significant, because anything rising is what life is helping us develop more of. And in this case, your life is helping you become more of a, connected to your roots and connected to your personal life and those that are close to you on a personal level. So very interesting to see that the eclipse is affecting your rising sign, of course. Maybe that's something interesting to think about too. What's your rising sign, everyone? And how is that related to more receptivity for you this week? All right. Greetings from Osnabrück. Thanks for joining us, Dagmar. Rosella Athen, have you ever thought about writing a book? I'd love to have all of your knowledge on paper. Yeah, I've thought about it. It's just, it's a lot of work. I do enjoy writing. A lot of it has been thinking about the right topics. I think I will have at least soon, hopefully, a little pamphlet about true sidereal. Well, a book, but like a shorter book, one of those kinds of ebook things that are easy to read, maybe 30, 40, 50 pages, something like that. But yeah, thanks for saying that. I'll give that some more thought with writing a book and putting things on paper. Gift wrapped, Virgo, Moon, Virgo, Ascendant. Yep, very powerful. Okay, so thanks for the input there, Anuyasha. About to spend a week out on a spiritual conference, Katie says. Divine timing with these eclipses. Yeah, great time. I mean, eclipse times are always great for spirituality, spiritual development, but definitely ones in Pisces, for sure. All right, so we'll go and close out here soon. Just a few more questions. Pluto and Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio. Yeah, I'm trying to think how the Scorpio energies would be impacting us right now. I mean, they're always very intense anyways. Yep. Had an epiphany about life today. It says have bliss. Yeah, this would be the time of epiphanies, no doubt. Can we recap on the pets idea? I feel as if my dog has been very emotional this weekend. Yeah, I mean, I think, I don't have any pets at the moment, but I would imagine the animals are very receptive to eclipses, specifically. I mean, I've noticed it, at least with just the wild animals, like the birds and stuff, seem to be acting differently. But yeah, so the pets coming through now, though, is the Virgo side. Virgo's about taking care of things. And so we're entering into Virgo season now, with the sun officially now, as of today, getting closer to Virgo than Leo, and all the fast movers going in their Mercury at the end of next week. So Virgo's not just pets, but it's taking care of day-to-day things and day-to-day responsibilities. So I think it's absolutely great right now to spend time with our pets, take care of things, build good routines, good habits, and that's what's going to help ground a lot of the Pisces energy, because the Pisces, is again more into the ethers, more into the spiritual, and this is the axes, right? Spiritual and physical world, being and doing, rest and work, what's important on a soul level and what's important on a physical level, and seeing if we can integrate these two. All right, so we'll go ahead and close this up. Again, we're going to keep them short and sweet. It will be every Sunday at the same time, though. So do stay tuned. And it's great to see you all. And hope you have an awesome lunar eclipse and an awesome week. And again, maybe next time we'll do a little bit of a recap to see how you all experienced it and maybe some constructive ideas moving forward. All right, so again, have a great one, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.